What you're about to hear is not just a sentencing, it's a moment where a man's future is decided in real time. Thomas Anthony Manning stands before the court after entering a no-contest plea to a violent offense. Involving a deadly weapon, the state has already agreed to dismiss one count. But here's the twist. They are actively opposing deferred adjudication, meaning probation is far from guaranteed. This case is layered with complexity, mental health claims, a history of DW's disputed intent, and injuries that left a crime scene soaked in blood. Manning insists this was defensive, not malicious. The court, however, must weigh accountability against credibility. Everything hinges on one decision. Does the judge believe this defendant can be safely supervised in the community, or has his past already answered that question? Listen carefully, because every answer he gives, every hesitation, and every contradiction builds toward a ruling that will permanently change his life.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection, State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
None, Your Honor.
State, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
None other than my client.
All right, Mr. Manning, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Thomas Anthony Manning.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thomas, are you asking this court to grant you a deferred adjudication?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, and Thomas, you have had mental health problems in the past, is that correct?
Yes, bipolar.
Okay, you are bipolar at this time, and at the time of the incident, were you under the influence of any narcotics or alcohol?
No, sir, it was not malicious in any intent. It was a defensive.
And then in the report, it says that you had drank some.
I had a beer.
Okay. And when was the last time you had a beer prior to this to the incident?
The last time before the incident?
Right.
I cannot recall.
Okay, so in other words, what I'm trying to get at is you don't really drink alcohol that much?
No, not after I had
This
received
is
my
where the
second.
legal gravity sets in. The judge confirms the plea agreement. 6 years in prison and a $1,500 fine, but that number only matters if deferred adjudication is denied. Deferred adjudication would allow Manning to avoid a final conviction, but only if the court believes he's a low risk moving forward. Notice how carefully the judge questions him about mental health, alcohol use, and past behavior. Bipolar disorder is acknowledged, but that alone doesn't excuse conduct. And here's a red flag. Manning initially denies drinking, then admits to having had a beer. That kind of inconsistency matters. The PSI report becomes the silent witness in this hearing. It summarizes his past, his compliance history, and the seriousness of the injuries. Viewer question. When someone asks for leniency, how much should their past violations weigh against their words today?
I didn't hear exactly what you said whenever your defense counsel or your counsel asked specifically about that night. Could you say it was defensive?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's still, in your opinion, that this
Counsel.
was that the complainant's injuries were resulted from you defending yourself.
I believe so. Yes, sir.
You've also been previously placed on probation for one of the DWIs, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was it one of the DWIs or both?
It was one. The first one I did time. I went ahead and I did a 30-day sentence.
Okay.
The second one, I how do you say? I quit reporting and then I turned myself in.
So you were revoked on the DWI second, correct?
Yes, sir. Like I said, I went ahead and then I went in and then we bartered and I just did time served on that.
What was the cause of you not reporting?
My daughter was just born and my father was just going through becoming blind and I was helping take care of him. And it was a bad point in my life.
And would you agree with me that the situation that night was...
This testimony is emotionally charged, but emotion doesn't replace evidence. Manning repeatedly frames the incident as defensive, yet the court presses him on the extent of the injuries and the amount of blood at the scene. 3 significant injuries, excessive blood loss, a deadly weapon finding. What stands out is the tension between cooperation and consequence. Yes, he stayed at the scene. Yes, he spoke to police. But credibility isn't just about cooperation, it's about consistency. His prior DWI revocation, failure to comply, and explanations rooted in personal hardship all come back into focus. Judges hear difficult life stories every day. The question isn't whether life was hard, It's whether the defendant has shown the ability to follow court orders. And as this testimony wraps up, the room grows quiet because the court has heard enough.
As far as what I was told, I was not able to see them. I was still being, I don't know the word for it, wrestled by the other complainant when said complainant that we are discussing right now had moved away. I'd never pursued them afterwards. I stayed at the scene of the crime. I was fully cooperative with the police through the whole investigation.
No, I understand that, sir, but you did see the crime scene itself, correct?
Yes, sir, I did see the crime scene myself.
And there was
Yes,
an excessive
there's a section, including my own, where I am there to show where I had a defensive wound. Where I was there, the other man was trying to force the blade into my chest. You can see in the evidence in the shirt that I have slashes in the shirt.
Okay, but again, my question was concerning there was an excessive amount of blood.
Yes, sir, there was an excessive amount of blood. From what I could see, yes, sir. I was in shock at that point as well.
Again, that's good, but would you agree that most of that blood is not your blood?
Yes, I would agree. Probably so. From what I've heard, his wrist was cut and that he was cut somewhere in the neck or facial area.
That's good, sir.
Any follow-up?
Nothing.
All right. Mr.
The ruling
Manning,
is swift and final. The court denies deferred adjudication, formally finds Manning guilty, and sentences him to 6 years in prison, crediting time served and imposing the agreed $1,500 fine. An affirmative finding of a deadly weapon seals the severity of the conviction, and because this was a plea bargain, there is no right to appeal. This case is a stark reminder. Deferred adjudication is not a right, it's earned. Prior violations, credibility issues, and the seriousness of harm can outweigh remorse and explanation. When trust is broken, courts act to protect the public first. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.